Okay, the first step is going to be to pull this round little cover plate off. So I'm going to take my Phillips head screwdriver. Be careful not to lose these screws. They are tiny. And that will expose the tensioning mechanism. You'll notice that you're going to have a little hex tip here. That's what your 5/8 socket will fit onto. Before you throw the socket on there, what you want to do is be careful to not press that in and let it freely spin. What we're going to be doing right now is removing the tension from the main spring in the awning, and we don't want to let it spin freely because it'll just go too fast. We want to do a bit of a controlled release. So I've got the socket set to spin in a counterclockwise direction. I'm going to fit it on there. I'm going to hold it so it doesn't spin too fast. I'm going to press it in, and then I'm going to slowly allow it to release. And you'll hear it spinning. It can go pretty quick. You just want to have a little control on it. Once it stops spinning, you can do a little bit of a check, give it a couple presses with your finger. It'll do some small minor rotations. If it does a few more than that, just keep going until it stops. We're going to flip the socket wrench into the opposite direction, so it's going to spin in a clockwise direction. I've found the easiest way to do this: throw it in place, hold this here just like that, and then you're going to spin with your hand or your finger to add the tension back in. The reason you don't want to just crank it as you would normally use a socket wrench is we're going to do 40 rotations. So 40 times all the way around will add the proper amount of tension on the awning. Be sure that if you're ever adjusting the tension on the awning, always start from zero. So always take all of the tension out and then re-add tension. If you over-tension it, you could cause problems with permanent deformation of the spring or permanent damage to the spring. So we don't want to do that. So I just did 2 rotations. I'm going to do 38 more. Yeah. 39 and 40. Now as I get to the last rotation, don't just let go. I'm going to take the socket off slowly. The mechanism is going to want to press out and go in a clockwise direction, and as it does that, this part is going to lock back into place. So you can see I can spin it clockwise freely as it goes in, but as it comes out in a counterclockwise direction, it locks into place. So, all right, at this point, if you want to just do a quick test, make sure everything's working properly before we throw that cover plate on, go for it. Unbuckle the loops, put the awning in the unlock position. That's looking good. Tension feels nice. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this cover plate back on, put it in place. Use your tiny little screws that you don't want to lose, and your Phillips head screwdriver to tighten it down. Once that's complete, you should be good to go.